I'm sorry, Tommy C. I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar.
Keem just tweeted about you. He says he's kicking you off the Lolcow cast.
He had an opportunity to make serious money to entertain you, and he wouldn't do it.
I fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
How's it feel, Muta, to be caught in the lie?
You're milking a human, okay?
After nearly 2 years from preparation to production, the Lolcow Podcast has finally made the first few episodes, and it's already on fire. Boogie and Mutahar are fighting on other channels instead of the Lolcow Podcast. Keemstar is demanding apologies from Boogie and making him beg on his hands and knees not to be fired, and while all this is happening, DSP is taking swipes at Turkey Tom. To understand the madness happening right now, we have to go back to the very beginning of the Lolcow Podcast. The idea for the podcast would begin when Keemstar would announce his retirement. As we know now, Keemstar never retired, but at the time, Darksydephil, a notorious Lolcow, would make comments on this. Darksydephil is known for two things: begging his audience for money so he can pay for his mobile game addiction, and also masturbating live on stream on accident. But when Keemstar announced his retirement, DSP would express his disdain for Keemstar and trash talk him on stream.
Kevin has now done a super chat and says, what do I think about Keemstar's retirement? I don't. I never watched a single piece of Keemstar's content during the time period that he made it. I don't care about him. All I know is that he is one of the original people who basically was a rumor monger, drama monger, and or person who caused a lot of personal pain for people so that he could get a buck. You know, let's air everyone's dirty laundry, sometimes not even confirmed, just rumors, on YouTube for my own personal benefit. Wow, what a nice guy, right? Sometimes you hear that a YouTuber is hanging it up and you're like, man, that's sad because this is someone who has a great legacy, but you know, I hope them the best in their personal life. And then there's sometimes when you say, oh, someone's retiring, nothing of value is lost. So
Keemstar would have received this comments made by Darksydephil and respond absolutely tearing into him.
Me and you have to have a little chat. It's recently come to my attention that you were talking shit about me on your stream. That's right, somebody donated money and asked you your thoughts and opinions on Keemstar's retirement, and you said, you know what, I've never watched the guy. I don't watch Keemstar. I've never seen a single Keemstar video. Then you went on to say, all Keemstar does is lie about different creators, just slanders them, puts out nothing but fake news, something along those lines. Thought that was strange because I thought you never watched any of my videos. Also, I can remember a time where you were actually begging to come on my show. Yeah, I do remember that. You were begging to come on Drama Alert. Don't you remember that one time that you sat down at your streaming computer and, you know, you were looking at a little Pornhub and you were going to town, just smacking that sausage, right? Groaning and everything else, and, you know, grabbed a little tissue, cleaned up the mess that you made, and then you noticed that you were streaming live. Yeah, we ran that story on fucking Drama Alert. That was fucking hilarious. You fucking beat off right in front of your fans. So yeah, I get it. I get why you hate me, because we covered that story. But there's a deeper reason on why you hate me. Me and you have been doing YouTube for about the same amount of time, or gaming entertainment, whatever you want to say, for the same amount of time, and I'm retiring, all right? I'm retiring with fuck you money. Never have to fucking work again. And you, having the same career, you know, doing the same thing, you know, online entertainment stuff, you're still begging for $10 donations and $20 donations to pay your electric bill, to pay your fucking rent, all right? I get it. I'd hate me too. See you, Phil.
In 2022, Keemstar would come up with the idea for the Lolcow Podcast 6 months after his encounter with Darksydephil and his retirement announcement. Keemstar would get in contact with Boogie, Wings of Redemption, and tried to get in contact with Phil, but Phil would refuse to respond. Darksydephil would demand that Keemstar email him and call him at specific times, and then Phil wouldn't respond to him. This would lead to Keemstar tweeting out that Phil was passing up $50,000. This would be a terrible look for Phil, as he begs on a daily basis, and now he's passing up $50,000 that Keemstar was offering him. Keem would confront Phil on his live stream, and Phil would ban him.
Keemstar, should I ban you now for trying to derail my stream, or should I, bother telling everyone what you're talking about derailing my stream? Or should I just outright just ban you and move on? Like, what should I do? I'm just curious how you'd like me to handle this, because you obviously know I'm not going to stop my stream with my viewers to talk to you. We've already had the discussion behind the scenes. You were unable to follow simple instructions about when I'm free to talk. So if you're not an intelligent human who can act like a professional, but you're going to come to my stream in the middle of my work to try to talk shit and say stupid stuff, I mean, how would you like me to handle it? I'm just curious. Let's hear it. How would you like me to because I'm not going to have the discussion with you on my stream. All right, you can either do what we previously discussed, which I told you times that I was free, you ignored me. Okay. All right, so here we go. So now Keemstar's banned from my channel, and I'll probably be banning him from Twitter tonight as well, and I don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore. He's a fucking idiot.
In response to this, Keemstar would make a video explaining everything that had happened behind the scenes and why Phil was giving up $50,000.
See, ladies and gentlemen, I had a brilliant idea. An absolutely brilliant idea. See, there are 3 creators I know online who get tons of hate nonstop, and all 3 of them have money issues. Always going broke. DSP has been begging fucking the 200 people that show up to his stream to pay all of his bills. Instead of getting a job, he goes to the stream and says, hey guys, my taxes are up. Hey, I gotta pay my gardener. Hey guys, and then he'll blow the little money he gets from his fans on like skins in a video game. And then hit up his audience and be like, hey guys, I forgot about rent. I got a brilliant idea. Why don't I take the 3 of you, put you on a podcast? We will call it the Lolcow Podcast. But I had to talk to DSP. So I made some tweets, tried to get a hold of him. He was the most difficult person in the world to get a hold of. He's tweeting back and forth publicly, telling me, hey, hit up my email. Bitch, I'm a creator. You're a creator. We don't email each other. We just talk. All right, we're equals. We jump on the phone and we have conversations. I couldn't get on the phone with him. He was being so fucking difficult. Hit my email line or email my business line. Go fuck yourself with your fucking email. So I told him publicly, bro, you're going to miss out on this $50,000 because I figured they get about a $50,000 sign-on bonus for the first fucking year of this podcast. All three of them. And if I had to front the money, I'd front the money because I know this show would make a lot of money. I know this show would be wildly successful. That's how much I believe in this concept and this idea. So I'm talking to him in the DMs and he goes, listen, I got to stream at this time. I got to stream at this time and da-da-da-da. I don't fucking care when you stream. You're streaming in front of 200 people. End your fucking stream. Get the fuck on the phone with me so we can have a conversation about this. I can't. Okay, fine. So I wait till the next day. Try to hit him up. He's fucking streaming. Every time I try to have a fucking conversation with this fucking loser, DSP, he is streaming in front of 200 people making about, I'm going to say on average, $4 an hour. $4 an hour. Motherfuckers working at McDonald's makes more than that. But you can't get on the phone with me for a $50,000 fucking paycheck. Like, this shit is so fucking frustrating. So I give up on it, you know? Even though it's a brilliant idea, and even though you shouldn't give up on your dreams, I give up on it. And I go on YouTube a couple nights ago, and I ended up on DSP's stream, and he was there saying that he needed money for fucking something, and he was sitting there asking people with real fucking jobs to pay his bills again. And I got frustrated. And I said, and you won't get on the fucking phone with me? In his chat, and he banned me from his chat. This dude is a piece of fucking garbage. If you are watching his shows and you're paying his bills, you're a fucking loser. You should not support this guy. He had an opportunity to make serious money to entertain you, and he wouldn't do it. But you're gonna still fucking give him $200? You're gonna give him $50 to pay his fucking bills? Nah, you got a job. You keep your money. Fuck that guy.
Without Phil, the Lolcow Podcast would be dead right now. But 9 months later, there would be some new life to it. In 2023, DSP would go onto a podcast for an interview to address all his controversies. While Phil was talking about Keemstar, Keemstar was on Twitter stating that Phil was lying. One of these controversies would be about Keemstar and the Lolcow Podcast, and even bringing on Keemstar onto the show so they could have a confrontation.
Boogie, the way I understand it, called you, contacted you, and told you what was going on, right?
He DM'd me on Twitter, and we had a brief conversation back and forth in DMs.
And he told you that I wanted to do a podcast with the three of you, right?
Yes, I had no idea that's what you were trying to contact me about because we never talked. But he said that there was this idea for a podcast, correct?
So you did know.
So Boogie told you or didn't tell you?
Boogie told me that he and Wings had spoken to Keem, and that Keem wanted to do a podcast with all three of us. No money or anything was discussed. He just say, you know, he wants to do a podcast with all three of us. I didn't know that's what Keem was trying to reach out to me. I said maybe that's what it was. I didn't know because I never spoke with him.
We set up a scheduled time when we're going to call and we're going to talk about this. And I call you during the scheduled time and you don't answer the phone. And then I get a message back saying, oh, I'm sorry. You know, I was streaming. I told you I work at this time. Well, even if that is true and you were streaming, that stream is not more important than my phone call and my opportunity. It's not.
If someone has a business contact line, said this is the best way to contact me, please do it. But instead you go to your giant audience on Twitter and you just scream, I want DSP to contact me immediately, $50,000 on the line. It's hostile, it's disrespectful, it's unprofessional. Break or whatever. But the fact that this guy can't call me when I'm giving him the times to call was baffling to me. So first, he won't. The true interaction here, I had to DM him. He wouldn't contact me. I had to DM him. He would not talk further in the DM about what this was until I demanded it. I'm like, dude, just tell me what you're talking about to see if I'm interested. I don't want to get on a call with you unless you just say, what if he had said something I'm totally not interested in at all? I could say, no, we're not even bothering with it. He wouldn't. I had to like pull strings to get him to even say, okay, I want you to be like a host on a show. And then he wouldn't even talk any further. He demanded a phone call. I give him my number. I give him the specific times to call. He calls the wrong times. Well,
right?
Guys,
according to what I hear from Keem, hold on, I just want to say this real quick. According to what I'm hearing from Keem, he was going to put up $150,000 to do a show with three guys. Like, that's a risk. That's him investing a lot of his income to try to help these guys, for including yourself. And I think a phone call, wanting to do it over a phone call is like that's nothing in comparison to what he's trying to do. All right, I just needed to say that, Keem.
The text conversation, the emails back and forth, all right? That's not like really how business gets done. That's how contracts get done. That's how managers communicate back and forth and do deals. But like when we're at the very beginning of an idea and we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with this business, it has to be like real communication back and forth in a phone call, like it is right now.
What I was going to say was the reason I wanted it in writing was very simple. All right. Again, you have to understand, Keem, you have a lot of stuff that's said about you on the internet. You know that. We've agreed to that.
But
right?
so do you.
Yeah, I'm so sick of hearing that from you.
It's so frustrating.
If I'm
going to
deal with this guy, if I'm going to deal with this guy, I want our conversation in writing. Because what's to stop me from getting on the phone with Keem, having a conversation, and the next thing I know, he completely lies about what we just talked about to get drama on his content.
Phil
called him multiple times. I couldn't get a hold of him. It rubbed me the wrong way right from the beginning when he was trying to send me to an email, which made no sense to me. And I think 2 weeks roughly went by and I went on YouTube, and because I was looking up DSP stuff, doing research for the podcast, the algorithm like sent his live stream in my feed. So I tune into it. And I'm telling you, the minute I tuned in, I saw Phil begging for money to pay rent and utilities. And I just lost it in his chat. I'm like, I cannot believe that like you're doing this right now. 2 weeks ago, I was trying to get a hold of you, offering you the greatest opportunity you've ever been offered in your entire career.
Someone who has no self-awareness, and you think that you're the most important thing. You tweeted on your Twitter that I should contact you about a business opportunity. No one does that. They contact a person about the business opportunity directly.
We all do it. We all do it.
Yeah,
it's the internet, Phil.
It's like, the internet, man.
You said you've been doing this for 15 years, but like Do you not understand the way algorithms work, the way anger is addictive, and how people are hooked on crazy shit? Go ahead.
I want no part of that drama. I
Phil,
don't want to be on a
Phil, can-
podcast that is going to be about that. I don't want to be involved with someone.
That's not what he was. I don't even know what the podcast was going to be about.
He's being egomaniacal. I have to just listen
Phil,
to what he just
I'm
said.
not.
Keem,
Phil.
you just said my whole life should have stopped because you wanted to contact me. Really?
I did not say that.
My whole life. You
No,
just
he didn't
said,
say that.
Answer
I
the
did
call
not
at
say
any time, even though I
Phil,
gave you the times to call me.
Can
Answer
I
the
give
call
you
at
some
any time at
context?
all.
We have a mutual respect as content creators. We should be able to be in Twitter DMs and then get on a phone call. And you didn't treat me like that. You treated me like dirt. This is not about me thinking I'm God. This is about how you treated me in those Twitter DMs.
Keem, I gave you the times to call. You called at different times, and we never had another interaction ever again. How was I disrespectful to you?
So when they ask me, is this opportunity, still available? When I say maybe, because like, I don't know how I could work with you. You are very, very difficult to work with, to even communicate with, firsthand.
Because I didn't drop everything to talk to you, I'm difficult to communicate with, even though I have
what are you dropping?
publicly listed ways to contact me.
Please explain to me what you're dropping. Like, what is so important that's happening that you can't get on a phone call with me?
My work, my job. I'm here 6 days a week, full-time streaming to make a living.
But this job that I'm about to offer you would pay wildly more and solve all these problems that you have going on.
First of all, you don't know what it's going to solve. That's a huge assumption. Second of all, I didn't know what the thing was because you never told me. You didn't call at the time you were supposed to.
Didn't
We're
Boogie
going
give
to
you?
It would seem that DSP had killed the project by not responding to Keemstar, but behind the scenes, there was something happening. DSP would be in communications with Wings of Redemption and Boogie2988 in hopes of bringing up the podcast and cutting Keemstar out of the idea. But during Boogie's own interview on the same podcast, he would leak that DSP was trying to revive this Lolcow Podcast project. Boogie would also mention how he and Wings of Redemption were pissed off that Phil had cost them $50,000.
Do you have any relationship with Phil at all?
Not really. We're trying to put together a show, that Lolcow podcast that Keemstar pitched, and then Phil's like, "Oh no, I don't want to work with Keemstar. I don't want a $50,000 paycheck. I don't want to pay off all my debts and taxes. I'd rather be miserable. I'd rather sit in a corner and cry all over myself. I'd rather bitch for a living." Which also cost me a $50K payday, which also cost Wings a $50K payday. And I could use $50K, and I know Wings could use it. So he screwed everybody over. So I think he's trying to make it up for this with us trying to work with another third party that's not Keemstar. But I don't know if he'll follow through. I don't feel like Phil wants his problem solved. I think Phil wants to marinate in the misery of his own creation.
After this news broke that DSP was trying to revive the project without Keemstar, Keemstar would come back, revive it, and cut Phil out. Keemstar would even tweet out that DSP was kicked off the Lolcow podcast for not responding to emails. This would lead to a massive rant from DSP on his own show.
So all of a sudden people are like, Keem just tweeted about you. He says he's kicking you off the Lolcow cast, and now they're looking for a third host to join Boogie and Wings. You're kicking me off the show that I'm not on. That's an interesting concept. I've actually never heard that one before, that you can actually get fired when you don't work for someone. Because people are now coming to my stream to tell me that you're fired from the Lolcow cast. I'm not on the Lolcow cast. I never wanted to be. Like, what are you talking about, right? If you want to talk about delusion and being egotistical, someone who actually thinks that because they wanted me on their show, that I was on it, even though we never even had the discussion about being on it, and I never wanted to be on it, that I was on it and now they can fire me. You're insane. Like, you're literally insane. Anyone will tell you you're nuts. That's fucking crazy. I was never part of your team. I was never employed by you. You can't kick me off of anything I'm not in. All right? You're nuts.
Keemstar would bring up the good point of Phil being able to make multiple videos responding about the Lolcow podcast, but he can't respond to his emails. This would be the end of DSP's involvement with the project itself, but he would come back later due to drama with Turkey Tom. But while setting up the Lolcow podcast, Keemstar and the group would already face trouble setting up the Lolcow podcast itself. Apparently, some unknown third party had already taken the Lolcow podcast name for a website and social media. This happened after Keemstar and the group had worked on the project for multiple months and had already filmed a pilot episode.
Keem's like, who the fuck was that guy? I didn't hire that guy. And all of a sudden, Tommy's life fucking crashed and burned in front of him. This guy is not the game's attorney. It is just some guy named Games Attorney. He owns the fucking podcast. He owns the fucking website URL. He owns the trademark. He owns everything. And it's just some guy. And Keem has no idea who the fuck this guy is. And he's been producing the show for 3 months.
Pretty much.
Despite all this trouble with branding, the Lolcow Podcast would rebrand to the Lolcow Live Podcast, and after nearly 2 years, finally have their first episode filmed. This final iteration of the Lolcow Podcast would include Wings of Redemption, Boogie2988, and Tommy C replacing DSP. There would also be Lolcow farmers to call out lolcows in their lives and potentially cause drama. The Lolcow farmers would include Mutahar, Turkey Tom, and Nicholas Diario. Before they could even release the very first episode though, there would be drama involving Boogie and his new girlfriend. There would be leaked DMs of Keemstar claiming that Boogie's girlfriend is 18 years old and that Boogie himself told Keemstar that. There would be other creators involved with this, but the main two would be Keemstar and Mutahar. To summarize the tweets, it would be basically them talking trash about Boogie and saying how creepy it was dating someone this young when Boogie is nearly 50. In reality, she would not be 18, she would be about 20 years old, but the age difference was still a creepy factor for many. The key thing about this all would be that Keemstar was stating that Boogie told him that she was 18 and he would make a voice message about this.
I just want to make sure I'm not fucking crazy. Brantley, how old was this girl?
18. He also told Kid behind the camera.
Like, he told us she was 18. You know he's saying that she's 20 now, right?
He's literally lying?
That's what he just told the internet.
Keemstar would later walk back these statements publicly with tweets with Boogie. But Boogie would get into a confrontation with one of the Lolcow farmers, Mutahar. Mutahar would state that he and many others would be creeped out when Boogie was telling people he just met someone that turned 18. This would lead to Mutahar and Boogie DMing, but Mutahar would eventually stop DMing back to Boogie. This would frustrate Boogie, and Boogie would begin messaging Mutahar's wife. This would lead to Mutahar releasing a video on Boogie, 30 minutes long, exposing various lies that Boogie has told, and also addressing the DMs he had sent to his wife.
I am driving. Let me paint the scene here. I'm driving home from New York, okay? You got my wife with me, I got me, and I don't respond to anything. 20 minutes later, next to my phone, my wife's phone starts blowing up, and lo and behold, I see Boogie mentioned on here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this sends me into a bit of a rage because I find it so weird that the moment I don't respond to you, the next person you're hitting up is my wife about this situation. Obviously, it upsets me, it upsets her, it upsets people. We think it's weird, okay? Boogie crosses a personal boundary, and he decides to ask my wife, even mentions if I'm triggered or not. Yeah, I'm not triggered at you, I'm just triggered at the fact that you start reaching out to my friends and family. It's just a line you don't cross.
And this wouldn't end here, as Boogie and Mutahar would get into a confrontation on Review Tech USA's stream. The whole confrontation would include many topics such as Boogie's use of his money, where did the money go and the various lies he's told about it, and mainly his current girlfriend. Boogie's biggest meltdown would happen around the Twitter post that Boogie and Mutahar had back and forth about the leaked DMs about his girlfriend being 18 years old versus 20.
Because you've been mad at me for like a week, I knew it had to be coming.
I'm not mad at you.
Well, just like disgusted with my behavior.
To be mad at you would mean that you would have to like matter to me personally.
Well, that's true.
I don't get mad at you. I
That's
can't.
all right.
I don't have the time. It's just like I think you're a compulsive liar. Is sort of the.
I respect that. I understand that. I've definitely been an unreliable witness.
How can you say you respect that? Like, this is the thing that I don't get. Like, you respect that somebody believes you're a compulsive liar.
That's a very respectful. That's very respectful.
That's not
opinion to
respectful.
have.
That's not respectful. Like, you should be learning to better yourself instead of
Well,
just saying, "Oh,
but
that's respectful." What are you doing?
What
to
I'm
better
saying is, I
yourself?
have lied in the past. I'm doing my best to not lie. That's
what I'm
talking
asking
about in
you.
the past, man. And
How have I been wrong in the past? Please explain exactly how I've been wrong in the past.
My 18-year-old girlfriend's a good fucking start when she's not 18.
I never made a public statement.
You
by the way.
tweeted that
Never.
fucking last week. You tweeted
When did I
that
tweet
last
about?
week.
When did I tweet? What
You
did I
said
tweet
you're telling
exactly?
people she's 18. I never fucking
no,
did.
because
I never
was the
did.
one that talked about it in that leak.
No,
group
but
chat,
you
and I
tweeted it.
talked
It's
to him.
on your fucking feed right now. You tweeted
What
out.
do you mean?
When you
You're
tell
the-
people
when
your
you
girlfriend is
tell
18.
people-
When
Yeah,
you tell
when you
people,
were
I
telling
never did.
Keemstar, you
I
did.
never did.
That's what he told us,
I
so what
never
do you mean
did.
here?
But I
That's
didn't.
what he told us.
But you are factually incorrect because
Did I
I
make
never
that?
did.
Did I speak about that publicly until you made
Yes,
any
it's
mention of
on
it?
your Twitter feed.
Yeah, I quote tweeted you.
Yeah.
Because you were bringing it
you
up
didn't.
publicly. Yes,
No,
I did.
you didn't. That was
Yes,
something.
I
That was a
did.
completely separate
Yes,
tweet.
You were the one that brought it up.
The
I
point that I'm
quote
making
tweeted
is you are
so
still
you're
fucking
literally
wrong.
lying right now.
The point that I'm making
And by
is you're
the way,
still fucking
even in
wrong.
there, I never
You're still
claimed that your
fucking wrong. I have her
girlfriend was
ID in
18.
my wallet.
I never
I know
claimed that
how old
was
she
18.
is.
You literally just
She's
lied
not. She's
so
20 years
hard.
old.
And now you're so mad that you got caught in this lie.
It's
Because
not a
I
lie. It's
quote-
on your Twitter
I
feed
quote-
right now.
Yeah,
Go
I
check your
quote
Twitter feed
tweeted-
right now.
I'm looking
Go
at it. I
check your
quote
Twitter
tweeted
feed right now. It's on there right now. It's on there right now. It's on there right now. Go look at your Twitter feed. It's on there right now. I ain't lying to nobody. It's on there right now. Go look at it. It's not there. I'm not lying about anything. It's fucking on there. You said
I'm
it.
looking at it. You're the I quote tweeted
You said it.
talking
You
about
said
it.
that I said that, and I never
Your
did.
quote tweet
I
said,
never
I don't
did.
wanna address
I
the
never
Keem and
did.
Muta group
I
chat.
never did.
Yeah, you did.
I never
You're the
did.
one that said,
I
don't
never
address
did.
the Keem and
I
Muta
never
fucking-
did. I never did. But you said I did.
This is the best
That's
part.
you
When
being
you
wrong
catch
about
him in
me.
a lie,
That's
when you
you
catch him
being
in a
wrong
lie-
about me.
When
That's
did
you being wrong about me.
I literally just fucking.
That's
proved
you
I'm
being
right.
wrong about me. Oh, what? How's
Like,
it
you're
feel, Muta?
legitimately,
How's it
like,
feel, Muta?
wavering.
How's it feel, Muta, to be caught in the lie?
Sure, man, I
Woo!
guess.
How's
All
it
right,
feel,
we'll wait
Muta?
for you to calm down, I guess. Jesus Christ.
How am I
quote-tweeted
wrong? Did you tweet that I
I-
said that she was 18?
Yes, I did. I quote.
I never
tweeted, but
did.
No,
I never
quote
did.
tweeted
I
you
never
talking
did.
about the-
I
okay, there
never
it is.
did, though. I've never said it.
50-year-old
I've
man that
never said
literally
it.
cannot fucking
I've
admit to
never
his
said
fuck-up
it.
man.
I've never said it.
50-year-old man, dude. Jesus Christ.
I've never said it.
Man.
I never will say it because she's not. She never was 18 when I knew her.
Yeah,
So
I
why
quote
would I
tweeted
ever
the
say
fact
it?
that you were talking about me
How
in
long?
some
How
group chat.
long?
Yeah, who am I responding to there, Rich? Who started this?
What did you say, though? Isn't that important, too?
So before you go, I never did. There you go. That's your lie that you got caught up in. So
Tell me that part again.
When you tell people a girl you meet just turned 18, it creeps us all out. You're a gross.
See, I never
womanizer.
said that, though. So there.
Keemstar said that. Keemstar told us that.
Yeah, but I didn't, and that's what's important. You said
Okay.
that I said
Okay.
it.
So then
You
why are you
said
getting
that
mad
I
at me?
said
Get
it.
mad
You
at
said
me.
that I said it.
When
You
did I
said that
say
I
that?
said it. You just
Yeah,
there.
because Keem
Read it
said
again.
that you said it to him.
But I
so
never
what am I
did.
gonna do?
Well,
Okay,
anyway.
then fucking.
So
then you just
Keemstar.
call out Keemstar for that. There
hey,
you go.
Lolcow chat.
Why do you
Lolcow
work with
live
the guy
stream.
that just slandered you? What the fuck? You're such a bitch.
I'm a
Why?
forgiving guy, man.
I don't understand.
Why? Fuck it.
He
Keemstar's gonna
literally
make me
called
money.
you a
I'm just here to
pedophile
make
in the
money.
background, and you're okay with it.
Keemstar
What the
just wants to
fuck?
make me money. I'm here to make me money. You're the one who tweeted it.
Mad,
Didn't
bro.
you point out that it was a private chat? Didn't you point out it was a private?
You're the one that mentioned it. You brought that private chat up into the limelight. You mentioned "Be My Name" in that post. That's why I quote tweeted you. I wasn't
Anyway,
going to mention a private chat.
Keemstar's
I wasn't
asking me
gonna
to
talk
save it
about
for the Lolcow
Bring it up.
podcast. I'm gonna save it for the
What
Lolcow
the
podcast.
fuck, dude?
But have a good one. You did say.
Keemstar was in chat telling Review Tech USA not to milk Boogie because Boogie was supposed to be doing all of this on the Lolcow podcast, not on Review Tech USA show. Boogie would ignore Keemstar's messages saying Keemstar would be happy that he was on this show promoting the Lolcow podcast.
Keemstar, you could tongue twist my asshole. I'm not milking him. You could come milk my fucking nipples. Jesus Christ. Stop milking. Listen, milk my butt cheeks.
Everybody, go right now to the Lolcow Podcast, Lolcow Live on YouTube, Lolcow Live on Twitch, Lolcow Live on Instagram. Keemstar is going to be happy, and I'll tell you why, because I'm telling everyone here that they have to subscribe to the Lolcow Podcast if they want to see me, Tommy C, Jordy, Mutahar, Keemstar fucking going at each other's throats fucking one day a week for the rest of your lives until one of us brains out. Get Lolcow Podcast live, Lolcow Live.
Brains out.
Keemstar was in fact not happy and sent Boogie a Twitter message later expressing how angry he was.
Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. Your fucking fucking head. I talked to you before you went on. In my other group chat, people were like, oh, Boogie's calling into Rich. I fucking called you. We spoke. I said, don't give Rich the tea. Your exact words to me were, oh, I'm just going to go on there and tell him I'm busy, right? So you call into Rich, you tell him I'm busy. He starts milking you. You start answering every fucking question because you're an attention fucking freak. And then you have a face-off with Muta on Rich's stream. The face-off between you and Muta should be on your podcast. That's monetized, that you make money on. Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. This is not a mistake. This is not an accident, you fucking You did this on purpose. I talked to you before you went in. I fucking hate you. Fuck you. All the time and effort into this fucking show to help you guys out, and you can't do the simplest task. I fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Yeah, obviously I fucked up. I was just going to go there to promote the show. I didn't know Muta was going to come in there and pull his shit. I should have left when Muta showed up and said, save it for the show. But you're right. I respect your decision. Let me know if you need any of the passwords or anything like that. I'll be glad to hand them over. And let me know if you change your mind.
Keemstar was in another message saying that Boogie had to be on his hands and knees begging for forgiveness if he had any chance of staying on the show.
I need you to fuck off. Like, seriously, fuck off. I need you to get on your fucking hands and knees, have your girlfriend fucking film you and say, I'm sorry, Keemstar. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm sorry, fucking Tommy C, Nicholas Diorio, Muta, fucking Tom, everybody that's even fucking cared about the Lolcow podcast. I'm such a selfish attention fucking retard that I want attention. I want to be in conversation so bad that I gave an entire, the entire storyline of what's been happening on episode 1 to fucking Review Tech USA, because I'm so thirsty to just talk to someone. I'm that big of a fucking loser. Make that video, you piece of shit.
I'm sorry, Tommy C. I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar. I'm sorry, Nicholas Di Fiorio. I don't know how to pronounce him. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm fucking sorry. It was fucking stupid of me to go on Rich's fucking show and give away the fucking storyline. I'm a fucking attention hog piece of shit. It was fucking stupid. I should have left the moment Muta came on. I'm fucking stupid. And I'm fucking sorry. I understand your decision. I'll hand over any passwords you need, wherever you want. Sorry.
And ultimately, it would seem that this drama would settle down after Boogie had begged for forgiveness on his hands and knees. There is debate if this was actual drama or a marketing stunt by Keemstar, but in the end, it's probably a mix of both, where Keemstar was legitimately angry at Boogie for spoiling the first few episodes of the Lolcow podcast, but spun this into a marketing opportunity. While Boogie was getting himself into trouble with Keemstar and Mutahar, Turkey Tom would release a video on Darksydephil, a 2-hour documentary. Phil would react relatively positive to the video itself, but he just didn't like the title, A Decade of Failure, saying that it should have been A Decade of Decline. Turkey Tom would respond with his own video, but say he was mostly done milking Darksydephil for any content.
Big 2-hour long video, but with him not watching the video and not engaging, like, there's just not much you can do, and ultimately I think I've milked him enough. You know, the 2-hour video is probably enough, right? But if you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out.
Phil would be absolutely outraged with the idea of someone milking him.
They can't just operate anymore and have a life on YouTube for some reason. Maybe their popularity has waned. Maybe they just made a ton of mistakes or whatever. And the only way that they can get attention on YouTube is by creating drama. So what they do is they create the drama. They know the drama's toxic. They know that it's harmful. They know that it's not good, But that's the only way that they can get by. So they sit there and they create drama. And then everyone else sits outside and says, ha, now we capitalize and we jump on this and we make 2-hour documentaries and we do podcasts about them and we slam them and we rip them a new butthole and we constantly make fun of them and we meme on them and we milk them. Milk them. I want you to think about that statement because this is coming full circle now as I was watching Turkey Tom's 20-minute response video. And then he says at the end of the video, well, you know, unless Phil decides to actually do this interview with me, I think I'm done milking him. Milking him. I want you to, again, think about that. All right? And then I started to read into what people were saying about Tom and or other things going on, and I started reading messages. And basically, here's the information that I got overnight. Are you aware that Turkey Tom is part of this Lolcow culture and Lolcow cast? I didn't know that. I don't watch it. I'm not paying attention to it. Oh yeah, he's called one of the Lolcow farmers. Him and Mutahar and others, they're showing up to every show, and they're not highlighted like Lolcows. They're highlighted like big shots, right? They come to the show in order to basically degrade the subjects of the show, which at this point, I guess, is Boogie and Wings and whoever this other person is who was my replacement because I didn't do the show, even though you can't replace someone who never agreed to do the show. But whoever they are, I guess, right? They're basically, it's like a shooting gallery. Like, here's the people who are supposed to be the hosts, but in reality, they're just the targets of ridicule and toxic behavior. Again, they're just people shooting down at them. That's the show. That's apparently what this show is. That kind of, and the fact that you can just nonchalantly say something like that. Oh yeah, I'm done milking someone today. I want you to know how disgusting that sounds. You're milking a human, okay? Not even for sus. You're not milking them for milk. You're milking them for profits, for money. And every time you do that, you hurt them. But you don't care. There's no quality, no moral compass here. Who cares, right? You're dehumanizing the person. You're turning them, you're literally categorizing them as an animal, not a human. You've degraded them to the point that they're just cattle. All right? That's really fucked up. It is. It's completely messed up. I can't believe people think that's okay. Right? When you're watching that Lolcow show, I don't need toxic popularity for making bad choices, and being milked. I can't believe that you would even say that in a video and think that's, oh yeah, I'm milking people today. Like, huh? Like, what? You think that's fine? To talk like that. That's not fine. That's really messed up. Like, I mean it. Go talk to a psychiatrist and tell them you milked someone today. And let's see how they respond to what you said. They're going to be like, dude, what did you just say? Like, huh? But this is it. It's been normalized on YouTube. This behavior has been normalized by people like Keemstar, so it's acceptable now. No, it's not. It's really not. You have to understand. Normal people think this is endlessly fucked up. They don't agree with this culture, this spinning toilet culture of toxic shit. It's awful. And the quicker, the absolute quicker you get out of this toxic vortex, the better. Especially for someone like Turkey Tom, who seems like he's got his head on his shoulders, he's smart, he's intelligent, he could make great content, but he has to get out of the toxic vortex now before you're stuck in it forever. Because guess what? You'll be the next Lolcow. You'll be the next one who 10 years down the line, you're desperate for content. And what are you going to do to get it? Well, all you ever did was make fun of people. No one cares about you anymore. Now what are you supposed to do? Right? You're the next one on the list, man.
Lolcow Live would then proceed to milk DSP for a whole episode of their show. And that is the origin and meltdown of the Lolcow Live Podcast, and that's where we end for now. As always, thank you for watching, consider subscribing, and thank you for all my members, and a special shout out to Francisco Ramos Mejia.